Hey everybody, I just want to go over that quiz that we just took earlier this week. So here is number 1, and this is number 2, and this is number 3, and this is number 4. So first up, number 1. So let's get the x's on the same side. So we can add 1x to both sides. That's a plus. We're going to add plus x over here, and that is going to give us 4x plus 7 equals -1. And then we need to get the x by itself. So we need to get rid of whatever term does not have the x, which in this case is the 7. So I have to get rid of it, meaning get it to the other side of the equal sign. So I have to get it to the other side of the equal sign. And since it's positive 7, that means I have to subtract by 7. You always do the opposite in order to get it to the other side. And so -1 minus 7 is -8, and 4x stays, and the 7s go away because I did the opposite. Now, so I'm trying to get the x by itself, so I have to get rid of whatever's not the x. Remember that 4x is really 4 times x. And so again, if I do the opposite to get rid of it in order to move it to the other side, I have to divide by 4, right? It's being multiplied by 4, so to get the 4 on the other side, I have to divide by 4. I have to do the opposite. Remember, I have to do the same thing to both sides, so I have to divide the right side by 4 as well. And 4 divided by 4 is just 1, and 1 times x is just x. So that means x equals -8 divided by 4, and my calculator says it is -2. So the answer for number 1 is that x equals -2. Number 2, 1 minus 2x plus 5 equals 4x minus 3. We have some like terms here, some terms that we can combine. And that 1 and that plus 5 definitely can be added up. So let's do that. And we get, they combine to be 6. And then the rest stays the same, minus 2x equals 4x minus 3. And now I'm going to try to get all the terms with the x on the same side. I like to keep things positive, so I would rather get rid of that minus 2x. So to get rid of it, meaning I put it to the other side with the other x, I have to do the opposite. Since it's minus 2x, the opposite would be positive 2x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And that will give me that 6 equals 6x minus 3. Again, I want to get the x by itself, so I have to get rid of whatever's not x. And I always start with the term that doesn't have an x, in this case, -3. -3 does not have an x, so it's got to go. It's got to go to the other side. So it's -3, so therefore I have to do the opposite, which is to add 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I'm going to add 3 here, and I'm going to add 3 here. And on the left side, that's going to give me 9. And on the right side, that's going to leave me with 6x. And now the next step is, again, I have to get the x by itself, so I have to get rid of whatever's not x. And right now, whatever is not x is that 6. That's right next to it. I need to get rid of the 6. Since these are being multiplied, remember 6x is actually the same thing as 6 times x. Times, the opposite of times is division, so therefore I will divide both sides by 6. And so I'm going to divide this by 6 and this by 6. And that gives me the answer, 9 over 6, right? X equals 9 over 6, but that's not simplified. So 9 over 6, I can rewrite. Let me fix that. Looks kind of messy. I can rewrite that as 3 over 2 or 1.5. So that is the answer to number 2. Either 1.5 or 3 over 2. Okay, number 3 was a little trickier. So here again, we have some like terms. This 4x and this plus x can go together. Remember that plus belongs to whatever follows it. The sign always belongs to the number or variable that follows it. So those together would be 5x. And the rest stays the same. And then let's add 2 to both sides to get rid of that minus 2. And we are left with 5x equals 2x, right? Because these combine to give me 0. So adding 0 to anything doesn't really do anything. Now I can subtract 2x from both sides. And I'm left with 3x equals 0. And I can divide both sides by 3. And I will get that x equals 0 over 3, which is just 0. So x equals 0. And that is the answer. And some of you guys, you got there and you're like, whoa, this is not possible. Or, oh my gosh, it equals 0. I must have made a mistake. There's no mistake. X just equals 0. That's just what it is. Nothing wrong with that. All right, finally, this one. This is the hardest one. Only a handful of you guys got this one right. So here again, we have some like terms. I meant to do the thinner one, but that's okay. And so this just gives me 3x minus 3. Remember, minus 4 plus 1 means you go on the number line, you go to minus 4. Plus 1 means 1 to the right, which would be minus 3. Sometimes visualizing the number line helps you avoid mistakes with those negatives because they can really mess with your brain. And then over here, we also have some like terms. Like terms meaning that they have the same variables with the same exponents. These two are like. And since they are like, they can be combined. And 5x minus 2x is, in fact, 3x. And then the minus 5 stays as before. Next up, we can subtract 3x from both sides. I'm going to use red. Just feel like it. And that's going to leave me with minus 3 equals minus 5. Notice that the x has disappeared. So tell me, is there any possible value for x that can make minus 3 equal minus 5? No, there is no answer. There is no such thing as minus 3 equaling minus 5. It doesn't matter what x is. In this case, x doesn't make a difference. So the answer is that there is no solution. And a few of you did, in fact, get that, but not many. So don't feel bad if you are not one of the ones, but there is no solution. And you know what? Let me explain it one step further. If I were to draw these two things right here, if I were to draw that and say like y equals 3x minus 3 and have the other one equal y equals 3x minus 5, what would happen if I would draw that? You can try that in Desmos, see what you get. If you try that, you'll see that you'll get two parallel lines. Both of them are going up pretty steep. One has a y-intercept of minus 3 and the other one minus 5. So they are running parallel. And you know, solution means how often do they intersect? How often do those lines meet? Well, if they're parallel, that means they never meet. So there is no solution because those lines never meet. Thank you.